One of the reasons many people are looking forward to the Asia Cup is because in many ways it is something of a dress rehearsal for the T20 World Cup that is set to take place in 2026. Now, obviously, Indian cricket fans would be excited for a tournament regardless, but given the fact that they're entering the T20 World Cup 2026 as defending champions, having won that tournament to end a decade plus wait for an ICC tournament, you can understand that anticipation for it would be doubly higher. And of course, the fact that it was always going to be taking place in the early parts of the year meant that there was going to be plenty of interest with regards to how it is that Indian cricket manages to navigate having not only an IPL but even their main domestic T20 tournaments take place at the same time. Well, we'll go over all of that and some more in this particular video, but before we go into how it is that India will be hosting all of these major events, well, let's take a look at what we know about the tentative dates for the T20 World Cup. Now, what we know is that the dates that have been potentially earmarked according to news reports doing the rounds is that February 7th to March 8th will be the tentative dates for this particular tournament. Tentatively speaking, this is the window that the ICC will be targeting. The final will be held in either Ahmedabad or Colombo. That, of course, depends on which of the nations end up making it to the final. And the format will be exactly the same as the 2024 T20 World Cup. Now, the format, as we remember, was, of course, that the teams were divided into groups. Thereafter, there was a Super 8s, then a semi-finals, then there was a final. Of course, long format, but given that you have so many teams playing, it just makes sense that you will in fact be having this opportunity to ensure that maximum matches take place. We'll go back to the second point, which I think is one worth noting, is that of course the reason we're talking about a final taking place in either Ahmedabad or Colombo is of course due to the fact that with India being the host, there was always having to be an exception made for Pakistan, assuming they make the final. So if Pakistan are in the final, it will be played in Colombo as in agreement to the agreement that the ICC has come in place with for neutral venues and ICC tournaments. Of course, if Pakistan aren't playing, then Ahmedabad will be the host. Now, what this means is that India, our Indian cricket fans, are expecting a very action-packed start to the calendar year 2026. Why do I say that? Well, because normally what happens is that the Women's Premier League or the WPL will always be what starts off the domestic T20 calendar. Now, it normally happens in February, but considering they're targeting a February start for the T20 World Cup, it means that the WPL will be played in January. So between January to February is the time that they are looking to target for the WPL. That will then be followed by the T20 World Cup, which will again take another month. And thereafter, of course, you've got the IPL, which tentative dates suggest are going to be between March 15th to then May 31st. So that means you've got a lot of cricketing action from the start of the year to take you to practically the halfway point of the year. Of course, cricket isn't going to be the only sport that keeps you busy in 2026. There is a FIFA World Cup that will be taking place. There could also potentially be the Commonwealth Games and the Asian Games to look forward to in these calendar years. So lots and lots of sporting action in 2026 coming up. Of course, kick-started by a lot of cricketing action, which is of course what we love as Indian cricket fans. But how excited are you with knowing the potential dates and knowing that there's going to be a lot of cricket to look forward to? You can let us know that in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, tap that bell icon, follow us also on social media. We're on Instagram, X and Facebook. Don't forget to download the SportsTak app if you haven't already, and of course don't forget to stay tuned to Sports Today for more such videos from the world of sport.